Here we go. Happening today, former President Trump's historic New York hush money trial begins with jury selection, making him the first ever former president to stand for a criminal trial.
That is a big deal. Brooke Singman is here with all the details this morning. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, guys. Yeah, it is. The jury selection process could take up to 2 weeks. Now, potential jurors will be asked 42 total questions, including which cable, print, and social media platforms they get their news from. They will also be asked if they have ever attended a Trump campaign event, if they follow him on social media, and if they have ever attended anti-Trump rallies. Judge Merchan, who is overseeing the case, says there are no questions asking prospective jurors who they voted for or who they intend to vote for or whom they have made political contributions to. Now, the former president is facing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Those charges are related to an alleged cover-up of a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Now, on its own, this alleged crime is a misdemeanor, and the statute of limitations has already run out. So Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg must prove that Trump intended to commit a separate crime in order to secure this felony conviction. Now, the former president's lawyer says the facts are on Trump's side. Listen.
One of the craziest things about this case was the fact that what we're dealing with here are misdemeanor offenses that through this weird legal alchemical process, Alvin Bragg has attempted to convert into felony offenses. I truly believe that truth is on President Trump's side, and there's nothing that any of these witnesses or anything the New York DA can do to change that basic fact.
Trump is expected to attend this full trial. He says, quote, "I will be fighting for myself, but much more importantly, we'll be fighting for our country. Election interference like this has never happened in the USA before and hopefully will never happen again." Now, this is just one of Trump's 4 criminal cases. His others include the classified documents case, the federal election interference case, and the Georgia election interference case. This hush money trial is expected to last through June, and if convicted, he could face up to 4 years in prison. Guys.
All right, Brooke Singman live for us this morning. Brooke, thank you. Let's bring in Mark Smith, constitutional attorney and a former member of President Trump's transition team. Mark, great to have you on the program. Look, today, each side has a strategy. Prosecution has a strategy. Defense has a strategy when picking a jury. If you were picking this jury, what would your strategy be on behalf of President Trump?
Well, you know, the phrase jury selection is really not accurate if you're a professional trial lawyer. What you're really trying to do is engage in jury deselection. What you want to do if you're President Trump's lawyers is get anybody off that jury that could be a diehard anti-Trumper that's not only going to be anti-Trump, but is going to be the kind of person and personality forceful enough to persuade others to vote against Trump, frankly, for the good of the country. So what I would be looking to do is make sure anyone that has really strong, rabid anti-Trump views, make sure those individuals are gotten off that jury by one version or another of a strike. That's what I would be focused on. Really, the process of jury deselection is much more important for President Trump than the notion of jury selection.
Okay, but to that point, and in your experience, how accurate is this process in really getting at the true background of these individuals? In other words, when you've done this in the past, have you ever had after the fact, oh my God, we discovered that this person was really a bad selection because they had all these things in their background that we didn't get at during the voir dire or jury selection process?
Well, the most important thing when you're trying to figure out who should be on the jury is the ability to interact with the jury itself, to be able to ask questions and have the prospective jurors answer questions back. And here's where it's going to be a little interesting, Todd, because, you know, really, if you think about it, the Democratic Party, the Biden party has successfully gotten Donald Trump into this courtroom. And while in most cases that I've been involved with, Todd, the judge wants to go home, the parties want the case over, the jury wants the case over as fast as reasonably possible. Here, I don't think the incentives are aligned, because here I think the judge is perfectly content to have this case be drawn out. I suspect that Alvin Bragg in the district attorney's office is perfectly fine to let this case draw out. As a consequence of that, I think they'd be perfectly fine to let jury selection go on for weeks on end, which in some ways helps President Trump in the courtroom get to identify people that are potentially anti-Trumpers. On the other hand, every he's not campaigning. He's not doing what he needs to win election in November.
All right. I'm going to play a little 4D chess with you here, Mark. Are you confident that the selection of the potential jury pool, all those hundreds of people that are making their way to that courthouse in Manhattan today, are you confident that that was completely random, as it is supposed to be, or do you think there's any opportunity for, I'm not going to say who, but somebody to tip the scales?
No, I suspect it's very random at this point. I think they're going to bring hundreds of jurors in. Keep in mind that usually at the beginning of the process of selecting a jury, they ask prospective jurors, is there any reason why you cannot sit through this jury trial for medical reasons, for business reasons, for any reasons? And usually if you say, I can't, they ask you questions to make sure it's a valid reason. But here, Judge Marchand has basically said that anyone that raises their hand today and says, I'm not able to sit through this or be fair or impartial or anything like that, they're going to be let off the jury. So as a consequence, I think this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. And although I would say if this was any other defendant other than Donald Trump, Manhattan would be a very good place to try this dry case like this, because people are familiar with confidentiality agreements, NDAs, entering into contracts, and bookkeeping issues. But the reality is, when you're Donald Trump and that kind of last name, it's going to be a problem for him to get a fair trial. But I think right now, the selection of who's going to sit in the jury box as of this moment has been completely random. But we'll see what happens as the process continues and they're asked questions by the lawyers.
All eyes on a Manhattan courthouse today, and potentially, like you said, for the next couple of weeks and months. Mark Smith, thanks for your time. We'll be watching. We appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.